Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. I hope you are quite well. My today lecture is about the exercise of chapter number 1, Genesis of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. In the exercise, first we have to discuss the question number 1, fill in the blanks for make an appropriate statement. Here the statement is provided. Number 1, that the Sasir Ahmad Khan founded a legal school in the year 1875. Only the option is provided for the appropriate statement. In the second, that the Arya Samaj, the answer is for the second statement is Arya Samaj. Number 3, that the Lord Curzon. Then the number 4, separate electorate. Number 5, 1932. You have to underline all the fill in the blanks. Number 6, 1909. Number 7, 1920. Number 8, Chaudhry Rahmat Ali. Number 9, Allama Iqbal. Number 10, Maulvi Fazlul Haq. So the question number 2, it is also related to the fill in the blanks by putting one of the 3 alternatives given in the bracket against each question. Only the correct option is given. Number 1, that the Tehzeebul Ikhlaq. Number 2, 1867. Number 3, 35. Number 4, 1913. Number 5, 1937. Number 6, 1942. Number 7, August 16. Number 8, NWFP. Number 9, Gandhi Ji. Now there is the true and false statement. Indicate whether the statement is true or false. Number 1, false. Number 2, false. Number 3, true. Number 4, false. Number 5, false. Number 6, false. Number 7, true. Number 8, true. Number 9, true. Number 10, false. Then the question number 4. Put the right parts together. The British Crown. So what is the answer of the British Crown? 1858, 2nd, 1921. And the for number 3, Allama Iqbal. Number 4, October 1st, 1906. Number 5, 1921. Here are a short question. You have to provide the answer of each short question, and each short question should not exceed the limit in from 2 to 4 lines. Here the statement is given, and the page number is mentioned for each short question. This is your assignment. You have to find out the answer of these short questions on the page, on the mentioned page. Number 1, that for number 1 short question, that is provided on the page number 1. So the first and the last, that the words of the sentence is given. Ideally it is a set of dash and the last word is common ideal. So far the Islamic concept of the nationhood, page number 1, that the answer is the Muslims believe, and the last word is two nation theory. You have to underline the answer on the mentioned page. Number 3, on the mentioned pages. Number 3, Pakistan ideology, page number 1. Here the answer is provided. Number 4, and the thought about minorities, page number 3. Here the answer is provided. That the first 2 words and last 2 words of the answer is given. Number 5, similar deputation, the page 12. That it is started from the 35 top ranking, and the last words are the British government. Question number 6, Risale Asbab-e Baghawat-e Hind, page 9. And the answer, Sir Syed wrote a book. And at the end of the answer, that is the War of Independence. Number 7, objectives of Muslim League, page 12. And the 3 objectives are given at the page 12. You have to underline all these 3 objectives. Question number 8, change of objectives on the page 12. Answer, in March 1913 to Indian conditions. Then the number 9, Simla Conference at the page 21, Webel came to India. And the last sentence, that the disagreement on this point. And the question number 10, Indian Independence Act on the page 24, answer. It was passed by the, that the, and the last sentence, frame constitution. Now we have to discuss the long question. There are, that the 15 long question. All these, the answer of these questions are given in the lesson. Number 1, that the Muslim struggle, about the Muslim struggle, that started from 1857 on the page 3. Number 2nd question, Aligarh movement on the page 8. Number 3, Sir Sayyid services on the page 8, 9 and 10. And then the question number 4, establishment of Muslim League, page 10, 11 and 12. Then the question number 5, account of the proposals, page 4 and 5. Then the question number 6, background of Khilafat movement. Then the question number 7, impact and outcomes of the Tehreek-e-Khilafat. Question number 8, events for Lahore resolution. Question number 9, salient features of Lahore resolution, page 17. Then the question number 10, and the analyzed Lahore resolution, page 17, 18. Question number 11, Cripps mission at the page 18, 19. Question number 12, elections held in 1945-46. Question number 13, cabinet mission plan on the page 20, 21. Question number 14, interim government, page 22, 23. And the question number 15, 3rd June plan at the page number 23 and the 24. You have to find out the answer from the lesson. This is your assignment. Now we have to start the 2nd chapter, initial problems of Pakistan. When the Pakistan came into being, that the what type of the problems were faced by the newly independent state Pakistan. And the initial problems for the newly independent states of Pakistan, that before the partition, it was announced by the government of India that the demarcation of the boundaries should be done by the commission. And in the commission, that the Radcliffe, and from the India, that the Radcliffe award were announced, and from the Pakistan, that in the commission, that there was the Justice Muhammad Munir. So it was decided by the Indian government, that the such and the such, that the following states were given to the Pakistan, like the, here all the states are mentioned. That the how many states were included in the Pakistan, and on the other part, that how many states were included in the India. So it was decided. So the tasks were given to the Radcliffe, and that task should be completed on the, that the demarcation of the boundaries should be done August 17, 1947. And so it was announced by the Radcliffe Award that the principle should be adopted for the demarcation of the boundaries, such in the Punjab, Gurdaspur and the Firozpur district, Zira and the Fazilka tehsils. It were given to the India. So all were decided about the demarcation of boundaries. So the district of Murshidabad and the Nadia areas were annexed with the India without any justification. So what were decided about the original plan of the Pakistan? That the how many states were given to the Pakistan according to the demarcation of the boundaries, and the Radcliffe had finalized its task till August 18, 1947. That tasks were given to the Radcliffe. But the injustice were done by the Radcliffe in the demarcation of the boundaries. On the other side, Justice Muhammad Munir, that it was a task of the Justice Muhammad Munir about deciding the demarcation of the boundaries. It was later disclosed by the Justice Muhammad Munir that states of the Murshidabad and the Zira states and the Calcutta, all these states and the Batala states were decided to annex with the Pakistan in the original plan, but these states were not given to the Pakistan. Why? There were the injustice on the part of the Pakistan. That injustice were done by the Radcliffe. So in the Tehsil Batala were decided to annex with the Pakistan, although there were the 55% Muslim majority areas. The city of the Batala had a nice industrial state, so that state were not given to the Pakistan. So as there were the case of the Tehsil Ajnala and the Amritsar district had 60% Muslim, but all these areas were not given to the Pakistan, were given to India. So what was the result of the injustice done? In the case of the Kashmir issue, first seeds of the Kashmir that the problems were sown by the Radcliffe Award, that inclusion of the Gurdaspur and the Pathankot, these areas were not given to the Pakistan. So the inclusion of the Gurdaspur and Pathankot provided a way from India to Kashmir, because Indian army makes its way from the Gurdaspur and the Pathankot and entered its forces into the occupied Kashmir. So the Kashmir issue was started from that time. Then what about the fate of Calcutta? And the Calcutta were the largest industrial city in the India. Population of the city contained 25% Muslim and 60% outcast Hindus. So all the outcast Hindus were decided to annex with the Pakistan, to annex the Calcutta with the Pakistan. But at the time of partition, the Calcutta were not given to the Pakistan, and the Radcliffe gave the city to India against the will of the citizen of Calcutta. And after the partition, that problem was started for the newly independent state of Pakistan. These problems were related to the administration. At the time and after the partition, Pakistan had to face lot of the problem, because when the Hindus migrated from the Pakistan to the India, and the Muslims migrated from India to the Pakistan, so that there were a lot of the differences created. Most of the government functionaries and the senior officers serving in the army were Hindus who migrated to India after the partition was announced. They had to replaced with raw hand and the inexperienced functionaries. So the Pakistan had inexperienced functionaries, and mostly the army chief and the army officers and the senior bureaucrats were the English. So they were sent from India to the Pakistan. And these people have no interest in the newly independent state, Pakistan. So the chief secretaries and the enormous problems were created by the non-Pakistani officers, because these Pakistanis were not because these officers were not Pakistani. So they created a lot of the problem for the Pakistan. For example, the Qaid-e-Azam ordered the commander-in-chief to deploy Pakistan army in Kashmir, but he declined to obey the order, because at that time that the Kashmir issue was started. But these people have no interest, just the occupation in the Kashmir, that it was started by the Indian army. But they pay no interest. The city of Karachi, after partition, city of Karachi were declared as the capital of Pakistan. As there were the offices, and the offices were opened in the Karachi, but there was no stationery and no staff for these offices, and these offices were set up in the military barracks and the tents. The Indian government withheld Pakistan's share of stationery items and office equipment. Even paper was not available for the office use. The Hindus functionaries spoiled all the office record at the time of the migration from Pakistan to India. Extremists spoiled all the office record. So the Pakistan faced a lot of the problem, and the India refused to rent out its aeroplane for the airlifting the officials who came from India to the Pakistan, which were opted for the Pakistan. So the British planes had to be hired for the airlifting, the record and the personnel. So what about the rehabilitation of refugees? When the refugees were migrated from India to the Pakistan, From the Pakistan, 5.5 million Hindus were migrated from Pakistan to India. So from the India to Pakistan, 6.5 million refugees were migrated. So there was a lot of the burden on the economy of Pakistan. So the Qaeda set up the Refugee Relief Fund, just to overcome the difficulties in the Pakistan. In this way, the problem was soon overcome through the personal efforts of the father of the nation and due to the sense of sacrifice exhibited by the people of Pakistan. So what about after the partition? What about the division of assets? Division, that there was no proper division of the assets for the newly independent state Pakistan, because at that time that the India were estimated at the rupees 4 billion. According to the partition, it was decided that the formula for the Pakistan, that what about the division of the assets for the Pakistan was entitled to receive rupees 1 billion as per share, but not the full amount were given to the Pakistan. Less amount were given to the Pakistan. It created a lot of the problem. So division of the military assets for the Pakistan. So the at the time of the migration of the people to the Pakistan after the partition, when the process of the partition started, Liaquat Ali Khan demanded that a transparent formula for the division of the armed forces, and the army chief of the Pakistan were the Englishmen. He have no interest in the newly independent state Pakistan. So on the other side, when it was decided by the Liaquat Ali Khan, just a fair and the transparent formula for the division of the armed forces. On the other side, that the defense minister Sardar Baldev Singh and the commander-in-chief ignored his demand. However, in July 1947, it was decided that the armed forces will be divided into two parts. But all the arms and ammunition and the equipment were provided to the Pakistan were not in provided in a bad condition to the Pakistan. So it was not fair for the Pakistan. So there were the committee were established for the division of the assets for the Pakistan. Departure of the committee gave India a free hand to fulfill its design. The Indian government gave Pakistan only a small part of its share in the military assets. That assets were not in a working condition. Just the F-16 and the planes for the Pakistan and the jet fighters were not in a good condition. The aircrafts and the ships sent to the Pakistan were not in working condition. At the time of the partition, there were 16 ordnance factories in the subcontinent. All went to Indian share. So the Pakistan started its life with a small military force, having absolutely and the meager resources. After that the Canal water dispute started for the newly state. That the canals irrigating the Indus Basin worked in an integrated network in the British period. At that time, it was considered to be the biggest and the most efficient system of the irrigation throughout the world in 1947. That the India started a water dispute with the Pakistan because in April 1948 it closed all the headworks of the rivers which flows from India to the Pakistan. So it created a lot of the problem for the irrigation of the Pakistan. That matter was referred to the World Bank. So according to the Indus Basin Treaty, that the three rivers were given to the Pakistan like the Sutlej, the Ravi and the Bias, and the Pakistan have Chenab, Jhelum and Sindh. So in this way that all that problem were tackled with the passage of time. So according to the Canal, according to the decision of the World Bank, that the three rivers were given to the India and the three rivers were given to the Pakistan. That problem was solved according to the Indus Basin Treaty, which was signed between the India and Pakistan 1960 through the effort of the World Bank. So slowly and gradually that the Pakistan solved all its problem, and how the Pakistan solved all their problems, like relating to the irrigation and relating to the function of the government, and administrative problem were solved, as well as the Pakistan also improved its condition with the passage of time. That's all about my lectures. Take care of yourself. Thank you. आज उस